Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that there's been another case of a false DMCA takedown in the Wuthering Waves content space. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, knowing that I'm a creator who has been falsely DMCA striked on numerous occasions and had those strikes removed, there's been a bit of an uptick on people taking this same exact strategy and then going ahead and employing it across the community. And it appears that this Korean creator over here who's been making art for the game is one of the most recent individuals who's been a victim of these attacks. The most recent occurrence prior to this one was when this artwork over here, showing Sigrika and good old Denya in a bit of a compromising situation, that was something that got falsely DMCA struck too. But this one over here, well, my oh my. This time you got Chisa and Amith holding hands with like female Rover kind of just like walking in the background over here. Pretty like harmless art. It just looks like they're having some fun over at Star Torch Academy, right? But guess what happened? Media not displayed. The image has been removed in response to a report from the copyright holder. And this is the unfortunate part about these situations. False DMCA takedown requests are weaponized by certain abhorrent members of gacha communities to, of course, take down content that they don't actually like. It's something that occurs very, very, very often in the space, and a system that pretty much every platform uses that it complies with DMCA is that once you reach 3 strikes on your account, they usually expire after a certain number of days, your channel, your account, whatever it is, YouTube, Twitter, it ends up getting terminated. So the goal of these individuals is to literally end the content creation careers of others simply because they have a personal problem with the type of content that's being made. It's despicable behavior. And if a public figure ends up doing it, they usually end up getting ostracized by the entire gacha community. You only have to look at some recent examples to get the full picture on that one. And so now there's naturally been an expose regarding further details surrounding this situation. The situation with copyright strikes to artists is not over. Another artist got hit by it, but there's some things to note. The illustration didn't have any character shipping on it, which is the big difference over here. People thought that it might have actually been Kuro Games because, like, I don't know, like, they, like, are anti-lesbian or some shit. But when Kuro's known to sponsor stuff like the Galbreda and Augusta boxing match, which is one of the gayest things I've ever seen, for their Winter Solaris Super Cup thing, yeah, I'm gonna be real over here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really buy that one that much, right? But you can find it on their Pixiv. It's just Cheese and Amith hanging out with female Rover in the back, and boom, there it is over here. It's another Korean artist. Haven't heard of other cases, but it seems like the Koreans are the ones getting targeted. Yeah, I'm Korean too, so maybe it's just that they just hate Korean people. I'm wondering if it has something to do with Pong mentioning not feeding their pieces to AI. Maybe there's a company that is throwing these copyrights out. But guess what, guys? That's just some initial sort of research, right? And it helps paint some of the context. But there's been more to this cookie. Let's read this. Big update. The artist shared the DMCA takedown email, and it looks like someone is impersonating Kuro for these. Intellectual property managed. The email not being from kurogames.com, but rather Outlook. And I know Outlook works in China, but it's extremely weird to not use the company domain for things like these. So obviously, the first implication that you're going to get over here looking at this shit is that this is obviously not real. And guess what? I'm going to open this up because it's really, really, really important for us to take a look at this. Hello. The following materials have been removed from your account. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's going to be a little bit hard, isn't this? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to have to, I think, go down over here. I'm going to have to move the chat as well. Oh, man. Look at me. Fucking Jesus Christ. I feel like a secretary, bro. Anyways, there. We're going to have to go with that. The following material has been removed from your account in response to the DMCA takedown notice copied at the bottom of this email. And remember, you either have to get retractions from the original reporter or file a counter notification. And guess what you need to do to file a counter notification? Your full legal name, complete mailing address. You essentially have to dox yourself. And so, what is one thing that these people really want if they're trying to end your career? They'd probably love to know where you live and what your name is. so they can go, I don't know, get real offline. That's kind of obvious. That's the goal over here. Either ruin and end somebody's career or obtain their personal information so that you can dox them. That's the purpose of these. It's clearly getting weaponized in a very, very, very mentally ill manner to target artists, to target content creators like me, etc., etc., etc. And this is where we can get some details regarding who submitted this. Kuro Games Co. Limited. I don't even know if that's a proper fucking whatever, right? That doesn't even look right. The name is Lee Wei. Their job title is an intellectual property manager. And their email is leeway.kurogames@outlook.com. And then naturally, they put in like this address information, which I'm pretty sure they just Googled the Kuro headquarters. They just Googled the Kuro postal code and the Kuro phone number and just put that shit over there. So it's not like there's any personal information, right, to dox from Kuro Games themselves when they're just putting the fucking office and putting like the office phone number here. Clearly the goal of this is to either maliciously take down somebody's content or obtain their personal identifying information so that they can go, I don't know, do some shit to them in real life. And this is the situation over here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the same exact thing that happened to me. This is somebody impersonating Kuro Games, lying that they have ownership of this copyright, and they're using it to maliciously take down content. And it happened over here. Because guess what? This is the email that I received from YouTube talking about one of the copyright strikes that I received that ended up getting rescinded via a counter notification. DMCA takedown notice. Unauthorized use of my music. To the YouTube copyright agent, I, Joaquim Moreira, am the owner of the copyright music track titled Disco Nights, which I published on Spotify on December 16, 2020. I discovered that my work has been used without authorization in a video hosted on your platform. This person posted this random ass fucking email over here from Outlook. But this is the thing, guys. Disco Nights is a track on YouTube. And it's also a track provided to the YouTube audio library, and it's by a motherfucker named Quinsas Moreira. Not Joaquim, it's Quinsas Moreira. So essentially, this dude just impersonated Quinsas, changed the first name to Joaquim, and then just said he owns the track. But this is the crazy thing, guys. This is in the YouTube audio library. And if you've known any research at all about what the YouTube audio library is, you can use this audio track in any of your videos, including videos that you monetize. No attribution is required, but YouTube may simply credit the artist and link the audio library from your video. You may not make whatever, you can't put it on other platforms, and that was never done, right? And you can see over here, this shit is literally available for fucking free. It's available for free, so you essentially, any YouTube video is allowed to use this track with full monetization, and they're protected from copyright. But because this dude somehow was able to fool the copyright agent that was like looking at this, like, bro, I'm just in shock that they were able to fool them, right? They somehow thought that this takedown request was valid. And that's what was done to maliciously take down the highest performing video in my channel's history. Top 10 mistakes new players make in 2025. The video is back up now. But guess what I had to do? I had to file a counter notification to do that, and I sent it via my lawyer so that I didn't dox myself to whoever this rat fuck bastard is. Because guess what? This dude isn't real. This was being done in an attempt to gain my personal information and dox me. And I attempted to reach out to YouTube and tell them, hey, I'm getting copyrighted for a track that you've literally provided protection for me for in this YouTube audio library license. This guy is clearly impersonating somebody to like maliciously take down my videos or obtain or, you know, get my information to dox me. Can you guys, like, I don't know, just remove the fucking strike and like ban this dude from ever submitting shit ever again? They made me file a counter notice anyways. So you can kind of see how these companies tend to sort of deal with DMCA claims. They just like accept them for no fucking reason and don't do any research at all to validate them. That's what YouTube did. And that's what appears to be happening with Twitter over here with whatever the fuck garbage this is. Because this is so stinky. This is so fake. And it's so easy to do this. It's real. And I wouldn't be surprised if these are all being processed by AI. But the thing is this really something that should be processed by AI? I think that due to the fact that there's been so much rampant abuse, especially regarding these copyright strikes lately, all of them just kind of get fucking accepted, bro. If it seems like it comes from somebody that owns a copyright, bro, these guys just let you do them for free, with no effort at all, even though everybody knows when they look at the full details just how bullshit these are. And the craziest thing is, guys, these people, when they're submitting these copyright notices, they're committing a crime. They're literally committing a fucking crime. Read this part of the email here. I have a good faith belief that the use of this material is not authorized by me, my agent, or the law. The information in this notice is accurate and under the penalty of perjury. I state that I am the copyright owner or I'm authorized to act on behalf of the owner. Guys, these people are literally subjecting themselves to a federal fucking lawsuit to file these. That's how dumb these impersonators are. Because filing these DMCA takedown notices, guys, you expose yourself to federal court if you're caught lying about them. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we looked at what a fake DMCA takedown from Kuro Games looks like. We're actually going to be employing the help of a of a leaker from Kuro Games to actually see what a real one looks like. And don't worry, there's not going to be any actual leaks in here, but this is going to be from Step Leaker's Twitter account showing a real notice from Kuro Games. Here we go. So, yeah, I guess that's the one. And you can see over here, it shows at the bottom, right? And this is probably the only thing we need to focus on. It shows at the bottom an actual Kuro Games email right there. So, yeah, the fact that you're seeing one from Outlook should be enough bullshit for you, right off the bat. Don't need to read too much more of this one. And so this is my take. Kuro Games. It would be an insane play and an insane level of recognition by the community, right? And you would gain so much PR if you actually went after these motherfuckers. If you pursued them to the full extent of the law and actually got them like arrested, extradited, whatever, and then sentenced to something for this garbage bullshit behavior. Because it's very clear, right, that certain creators in the space that have publicized and farmed how they're copyright striking others, they're influencing this sort of disgusting action over here. Why is it that we're seeing such a massive uptick in DMCA takedown notices? Probably because one of the biggest creators in the space, right, whose channel is literally shrinking every day, right, showed how much clout you could get from filing takedown notices and, of course, publicizing them for fun. And after he did this, right, because nobody can deny Mr. Pokey farmed the fuck, right, made multiple videos, bragged on stream, did all of that when it came to striking me. And now we're seeing a massive uptick in strikes across all the gacha communities right now. And it's even getting to the point where people are committing literal fucking crimes to join in on the fun. It's disgusting where this space is going. It's disgusting that this is where we're at right now, where you're taking stuff that isn't even harmful. You're taking stuff that obviously shouldn't be taken this seriously and trying to endanger people's lives by doxing them. Or, of course, trying to threaten their careers. Kuro, in my opinion, needs to start taking action and taking action quickly under these circumstances. And once they do, they can really say that they're taking the steps over here to protect the freedom of their content creators. Because this shit, bro, like, just read this fucking garbage. Your full legal name, I swear under penalty of perjury. Oh my gosh. A lot of people, they just don't even want to, like, they'll read these fucking words and they'll start freaking out, bro. They'll read these words and just be like, all right, I'll just, whatever. I just won't, like, what's it called? I won't engage with this any further. I'm not going to call anyone that does that a pussy, right? I'm not going to call anyone that doesn't want to, A, dox themselves, or B, hire a fucking lawyer and pay legal fees to deal with this. because that's the only way out. You dox yourself, or you pay hundreds in legal fees, maybe thousands in legal fees to deal with this garbage. And that's it. And that's what happens when it's this easy to create these claims with bullshit false information. And of course, right, people would think that the threat of being held liable for perjury would be enough, but it's not. And so something needs to change. Something needs to be upgraded in the review process, right, to prevent this kind of bullshit from continually occurring. Maybe somebody needs to go to jail, but I'd love to see if Curl could actually do something to make that happen. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.